You're about to enjoy an It Takes Three Network podcast.
Get up and go at it, Upper East Side. I hear little Jay is having foreign relations with a handsome attaché. We always knew she had friends in high places, but how low will she go? Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Three Gossip Girls, a Gossip Girl podcast. I'm Liz.
And I'm Michelle.
Tonight we watched Season 3, Episode 14, The Lady Vanished. Original air date March 15th, 2010. Written by Amanda Lasher and Robbie Hull. Directed by Andrew McCarthy. Interesting.
Yeah.
Souls, you want to make an appearance on Three Gossip Girls?
The podcasts are here.
The podcasts are here and ready for this episode. Rufus and Lily grow suspect of Jenny's relationship with Damien. Chuck learns more about the woman who may or may not be his mother. Dan and Vanessa struggle through the awkwardness of dating other people. Okay, bad summary as well this week.
I agree. Not great.
Not great. My glass full of gossip. Michelle is curious as to what we were drinking tonight.
We've been drinking it for an hour now, and I don't know what we're drinking.
It is sparkling lemonade from Trader Joe's. It's called the French something. The bottle's so far away. I don't feel like getting it right now.
But it's delicious.
I will link it in the description below. I named it the Sour Pill.
Oh.
And it was so fitting because Michelle brought out the Smart Sweets. They're like Sour Patch Kids. So good.
Yeah, they're the healthier.
You can have more for the portion, less sugar, less shit in it, pretty much.
Right, and they're vegan. There's no gelatin in them. And so we paired that
They're delicious
with the chili and lime rolled chips from
They're
Trader
like the
Joe's.
Takis from Trader Joe's. Guys, the snacks were on point this week.
So good. And then with this sparkling lemonade.
Yeah, and it's not too sweet. It's not too it doesn't you feel like you're drinking a lot of sugar.
Yeah, I know. I'm
really
like, is there a lot of
good.
sugar in here?
There's not. For the whole bottle, it was like 20 grams, and it's a big bottle.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Yeah, so it's not bad for like the portion.
Wow.
I was treating us tonight with the
very
sparkling
special. I
lemonade.
love it.
I titled it The Sour Pill for a few reasons, but mostly I was feeling that Jenny, like, oh, you Sour Patch Kid, like, I just want to slap you. You're so bratty. And the pill, like, obviously the pill. So
yeah,
she's a sour puss, and I wanted to represent her in this episode.
Cute.
Okay. Speaking of the sour puss, we need to jump in right away with Jenny and Damien, because that's how we start the episode out. Damien is surprising Jenny in her room. It seems to be very early in the morning.
Yeah.
And they apparently have plans for a date type thing later on. But he was just coming to say hello. I guess because he wanted her to hide these pills for him. So he brings over the Endless Nights trilogy, throwback to Olivia time. And Jenny's kind of upset because she's like, I don't want to watch a movie tonight. I want to go out and paint the town. Damien's like, well, we have a lot of parties to deliver, make some deals later. Jenny's like, okay. And he's like, can you hold my drugs? She's like, okay, sure. I'll hold them in my bedroom. I'm 16. I'll hold these drugs in my bedroom.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, so she hesitantly agrees. And then Damien goes in to give her like a little smooch. But as he's doing it, his phone rings, and it happens to be his father on the other end. He mentions he can't see him tonight because he's hanging out with just a friend.
Ooh.
Ouch.
Low blow.
Gotta love it. Classic teen drama, right? Oh, just a friend.
Right. But it is, though. I mean, how many weeks has it been?
I don't really know. Maybe are we going with the week-to-week basis?
I think so, because
I think so, right?
It's probably been a week, and I mean,
yeah. And it's only been, let's just say, it's only been a
now,
week.
He is Serena's age.
He is.
So
he'll be turning 19 if he's not already.
Okay. And Jenny is 16. She's not
16 yet, but she's gonna be, yeah.
It's not the worst, but also he's so much older because of everything he's gone through.
Yeah, he seems like he has a lot of life experience, which makes him seem older.
Yeah, and Jenny's so young to me, and I know she's always trying not to be that young.
Right. And classic example is this episode, which with the Rufus stuff, she wants to act older than she actually is.
Do you think Jenny and Caitlin would get along?
Yes. Actually, I thought about her because when we first introduced Caitlin, the real older Caitlin on the OC, we wanted to eat the Sour Patch Kids. And
Yes,
it reminded
we
me
did.
of that because I'm like, they're so similar in a way.
I think
The
Caitlin
age.
is a little more well-mannered
Yeah.
in some ways.
I feel like Jenny can be when she is in a situation. It's like with her parents right now, she doesn't really...
It's rebellious.
She doesn't care.
state.
And she says it too. Well, you know, I ran away from my dad last year. I can do whatever I want. He doesn't scare me. Yeah, well, she'll be scared soon.
Yeah.
So after that, Lily comes into Jenny's room to find Damien there. And the two of them are trying to hide the pills and making it seem like they had slept together, having a boy in the room after last week when she told her you shouldn't have a boy with the door open, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
And she says, come out to the living room right now and get dressed. So in the living room, Damien is whispering to Jenny he wants to leave before Lily can say anything to them because he doesn't want to pretend to be the scared boyfriend. But at this point, if you're going to go in to kiss her, there is some romantic aspect here, regardless of how much depth you think it's going to be. And so the fact that, yeah, you guys are in the same room early in the morning with the door closed, like it looks exactly what it looks like, even though you guys didn't sleep together.
Right. But I'm sure he doesn't want to deal with this.
Oh,
And
man,
he usually,
parents.
and he probably doesn't have to deal with parents.
No, he doesn't.
So this is a whole new
Yeah.
ball game for him.
And so he wants to peace, and she's like, no one's asking you to be the boyfriend. So then Rufus arrives, and he's like wondering what has been happening, and then he like flat out blames Lily for this. He's like, Jenny is not Serena.
Yeah, that was
She
bad.
needs boundaries. Ouch.
Yeah, that was really bad. And like, Rufy, I understand that you're fed up, but you need to check yourself.
Yeah.
Because you're leaving your daughter under the hands and eye of Lily. And if
Right.
you have that problem, then you either come back and you deal with it or you take her with you.
Right. So Jenny has been living there for a few weeks without him now. I guess maybe 2 or something. And, you know, if he wants to keep tabs on her, he could have done that, but he hasn't. He's very preoccupied. So he orders Jenny to pack her bags because now she's moving back to Brooklyn. And she's like, I live here. He's like, no, you don't. You're grounded and you're not able to leave. Obviously, you can't see Damien. And then he tells Lily he's going to get the rest of his stuff because he should head back to Brooklyn for now. So Jenny's packing and Damien comes in her room to say goodbye. She's mad that she has to move across to Brooklyn and doesn't know if it was even worth the whole trouble because she doesn't know where they stand in a relationship or lack thereof relationship. And so she tells him, you told your dad I was just a friend. I heard that. And he's like, what do you want me to say? You're still in high school. Your dad wasn't completely out of line here. And so she claims that she's not afraid of her dad, and she'll prove it by dropping all of Damien's pills on the floor and then telling Rufus they're all hers.
This is just a cry for attention.
Oh, yeah. Clearly.
Even though she wants to be invisible, but just to prove the point of like, oh, I can fight for you and watch me.
Right. Like, I'm not the little girl that you think I am. And so Rufus says, whose are these? Are you taking them? Are you selling them? And she says, oh, I'm holding them for a friend. And then Rufus says this goes way beyond even a punishment because he doesn't even recognize his own daughter anymore. And then Damien jumps in to tell Rufus that the pills are his father's pills. So Damien reveals that his father has this very addictive personality and he wished he'd stop. And he explains that Jenny has been a good friend to him and that he actually didn't spend the night, even though it looked like it. And she was just trying to distract them from the real issue, the pills.
Right.
So Rufus asked why would he even bring these drugs here in the first place, and Damien said yes, it was stupid, but he wanted to get the pills away from his dad. Now, you were saying this was
I thought this was all bullshit. Yeah.
It seems as though he has he's a quick-witted guy.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
knows what to say. So after that, Jenny is praising him. Hey, Damien, that was a good story. They really bought it. And he's like, well, no, actually, it's true.
Part of it.
Part of it, except the fact that my dad is not sober right now. And I don't know what to do. And it's just my life. And that's how it's been. I'm afraid if I leave, then he'll just never come back. And so then Rufus comes in to say that he flushed the pills and that Damien needs to leave ASAP. So Damien tells Jenny to be thankful that she has a father who cares about what she does, and he leaves. And Jenny is so upset, and she asks Rufus, can he have visitation rights?
That was such a weird statement to
right,
put it
like
that
she's
way.
in jail. Can I have visitation rights? And of course, no, we cannot have visitation rights.
No,
This
Jenny.
is your drug-dealing boyfriend who is older than you and clearly not a good influence.
Right.
So Rufus is definitely not going to go okay that. And the fact that you're even asking shows how incredibly clueless she is about
Not only that,
life.
but she even looks at Lily for
Like, hey,
her to
back
step
me up
in.
here.
Like, what do you think, Lily? Isn't this ridiculous? And she's like, well, no, your father is right.
And Lily agrees. And then Jenny spins it, oh, you're just saying that because he's upset with you and it would look better if you were on the same team. But just because you are doesn't justify you guys being right. It was like, no, they are right. They're your parents. So
And then she got defensive too because she's like, well, you've been sleeping out of the house.
Yeah.
And it's just because you guys are fighting.
Mhm. Yeah. So she blames it on that, which, I mean, hey, I guess you got to throw that card in there.
I would.
I would too.
Because clearly they're not dealing with their issues and what's going on here.
Right. And so Jenny is saying, well, because you guys aren't fixing those issues, you're just using this as an excuse to punish me.
Right.
Even though what she did was bad and disrespectful. But, you know, she walks out of the room. I understand why she brought up that point, but there's no way she can justify ever, like, having to see Damien or, like, coming over. It's
being a
not gonna work.
teenager.
Exactly. So Lily makes this, like, final plea to Rufus not to leave, and he says, well, Jenny needs to be free of this Upper East Side world, and I think I need that too, at least for a little while. So Rufus goes out to find that Jenny is nowhere to be found. She's actually catching up with Damien and gives him some oxy from Lily, stating that she gets bad headaches. And he can try and sell this for now. You know, she took whatever she could possibly get. And then he's like, let's skip the deal, and kisses her. So to sum up Rufus and Lily, Rufus heads out and Lily is left at the loft where Vanya comes in.
Vanya.
And brings her Rufus's scarf. And she notices that this isn't what he was wearing. He hasn't worn it maybe in a few weeks. And tells her that Holland turned it in to the Lost and Found and said, even though then she knew it was Rufus. Now I'm thinking about it.
this was strange too.
Huh? Why couldn't Holland should have maybe because, I mean, granted, we don't know what happened with Holland and Rufus.
But did Holland, so Holland turned it in?
She turned it in someone turned it in. Someone turned it in. And Holland said, oh, that was Rufus's because he was at my place that night.
That's how I took it, but I could have misunderstood a name or two.
I thought the way that Vanya presented it was confusing. But long story short, Lily knows that Rufus was hanging out with Holland, and she just says, thank you, Vanya, and continues to drink away her sorrows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I totally forgot about that.
Holland and Rufus?
Yeah. I was hoping we were going to go back to that.
Not yet. Not yet.
But we will, right?
Yeah, we will.
Okay, good.
Okay, so let's head over to the non-judgmental breakfast club, as they call themselves.
Yeah, right.
At the Empire, Nate is making waffles, and him and Serena turn this into a very sexual food fight / kinky way of using fruit in bed type deal. It was really painful for me to watch. I like these two, but I cannot stand this overly sexual part of their relationship. And like, granted, I understand that's a lot of their relationship.
I agree with you. I don't know.
It's uncomfortable for me.
Yeah, and again, we talk about this all the time. We don't like teen sex.
We don't like teen sex.
We're not.
They're not even teens anymore, though. You know.
But yeah, we're not prudes by any means. Like, we're not, right? We're in our 30s and we're
definitely not.
very open about talking about sex and all that. But for
But
some reason,
about it. It's something about
the teens, I don't know. It's just the way, I think it's like the close-ups, and to me it's like gross, and we see the food in
it.
both their mouths, and it's just dripping.
Yeah, and the pulling of like caramel.
Yeah.
This
doesn't turn me on.
It would have been better if they showed the scene, even though Serena kind of annoyed me with the tossing of the waffles and like shoving it in Nate's face. He's like, we're not eating this. Like, what are you doing? Like, silly. But then like they have that, like, what's that? Like not spray painted. Like the door of the refrigerator is like, I don't know. It was like matted. I can't explain it. So you just see the shadows of their two faces, right?
Yeah, okay.
That would have been fine. We could have ended it there. I'd be like, oh, okay, cute, like morning sex, whatever.
Right.
But the fact that we had to go into all of it with the whipped cream that was freshly made in the bowl, by the way,
right,
and the strawberries and the caramel,
I'm good.
I'm good.
I don't need it.
You didn't need that. You weren't fixing any. I wasn't satisfied by watching it.
I'm curious for our listeners who've been with us now with our teen dramas.
Yeah,
do you enjoy the on-screen sexual scenes? Not like romantic kisses and all that. I'm talking like stuff like this.
Like this.
Do you like it?
Or like Riverdale.
Well, that's
is like
where
beyond,
I always go.
Same. Because it stems from that, I think.
Same.
Where they are truly supposed to be 16, 17 years old. Here they're technically a little bit older, but it still doesn't make it any less uncomfortable to watch.
I just don't need to see it.
I don't need to see it.
And then there's a future scene that we're going to get to that made me even more. I'm good.
Yes, wait for that one.
Yeah.
So when the two are done, they hear Blair moaning, yelling out Chuck's name in the other room. Now, this was a quite funny scene. So Nate is then getting a phone call, and to his surprise, it's Chuck on the other end, wanting Nate to like sneakily get his phone out of the bedroom so Blair doesn't see it and put it in his briefcase. So Serena heads into Chuck's bedroom to see Blair still yelling and moaning, but reading a magazine. It's really funny. Clearly not Chuck there to be found.
Yeah, it was funny.
And so the two girls get into a conversation about how Chuck is distant from Blair, and not only they're not having sex, but they're not talking to each other, and he went through something very traumatic, and she just wishes that he would let her in and talk to her. And at that moment, Nate comes in the room casually to take Chuck's phone, but then the two girls catch him, and Serena insists that he hand over the phone to Blair.
No good.
I didn't agree with that.
No, I didn't either.
I don't know why. She's like, Nate, come on. It's like, well, no. Nate was trying to do a service to his best friend by taking the phone.
And it's none of your business.
It's none of your business. Like, obviously, yeah, there is something Chuck doesn't want you to know. And the fact that he's not telling you.
It's not good.
It's not good. And I understand Blair. And then she goes toying back and forth with, I'm trying to change. I'm trying not to meddle. And then Serena does, I'll give her that, say, put the phone down and just talk to Chuck. And so after Chuck and Nate hang up, we pan to Chuck, who is at the Algonquin Hotel, which we know that's where Elizabeth is staying. And he waits until she leaves, and he ends up paying off this employee to get her room key so he can dig through her belongings. And so he finds, I don't know how, rolled up in like almost like an ace bandage.
Like gauze.
Yeah, gauze. The other half of the locket. As we said, Nate and Serena are trying to talk Blair off the edge about the phone and the fact that there are a lot of the same number that has called him, and there's actually a voicemail from this number. And to me, I'm like, well, obviously, like, it's not going to be another woman, but it is another woman, but not in the way that I think maybe Blair was trying to.
I think she just feels
it.
left out and being shut out.
Right. And so the fact that now he has a voicemail that she can listen to, she decides to play it. And so then she has to explain who Elizabeth is. And as she's doing that, Chuck walks into the room and says, her name used to be Evelyn, and she's my mother. So we get confirmation there that Evelyn is Chuck's mother.
Bam.
Bam. So Serena goes on and on about how it's so great that she's alive and don't you want to talk to her, obviously reflecting on her own daddy issues going on right now. And so she's pressing him to meet with Elizabeth and that she deserves a second chance. However, Blair and Chuck think absolutely not. She's already hurt him once. They're not going to do that again. Both sides, I mean, I understand where Serena's coming from. I later on don't agree with what she did, but we will get into that. Chuck thinks that Elizabeth wants money and that tells Blair to throw away the locket, and he heads to the bar for a drink because he's clearly very upset.
Right.
So now at this point, Serena is upset that Chuck won't meet with Elizabeth. And Blair tries to explain to her that Chuck was just absolutely devastated when he got turned away by her the first time, and she does not want to put him through that again. Mm-hmm. And that everyone needs to respect his decision not to speak with her. Honey.
Silly, honestly.
It's like, what is it? What are you trying to say? We're confused.
You love Gossip Girl. Hey.
Oh, jeez.
Just sit there.
Do not go over here. So she's begging Serena, please respect Chuck's wishes. Blair heads down to the bar to comfort Chuck and states, even if Elizabeth is his mother, she doesn't deserve to be since she never gave him the relationship or the time of day with her son. And she even suggests they go to Bart's grave to leave the locket and just never look back. So Serena and Nate head down to the bar as well and suggest a comforting Greek meal as a peace offering. The four of them head out and Nate asks Serena if they're doing the right thing, suggesting that they called Elizabeth and are scheming some sort of plot here. And Serena says, yeah, well, Chuck needs the push. I don't know. So they're at lunch. Serena and Nate are acting extremely awkward. And then they all notice that Elizabeth has arrived. Blair immediately is saying, it's not me. And she's pissed that they even did this. And so Chuck actually decides to go over there, like to appease them, I guess. And Serena says, well, just it's better than wondering what if. And so he's like, okay. He goes over there. Yes, I do. However, he doesn't really let her explain anything. He just presents her with a check for some huge amount of money.
Right.
I don't know how much money this could be,
but a test.
But a large sum of money. And so she says that she's, I'm sorry that you don't want to know me. And he said, I want you to leave and never come back. And so she says, I'm sorry if that's what you want. And she takes the check. She failed the test. So poor Chuck. So you can tell that Chuck is extremely disappointed when she does take it, and he returns to the table and tells Serena that she's clearly wrong about what had happened. Blair is also upset with Serena and tells her she didn't do this for Chuck, but it's more of a projection on what's happening in her life. Later on, Serena meets up with Elizabeth to talk about her daddy issues, and Elizabeth explains that she was 19 when she got pregnant. And her and Bart decided to give up the baby for adoption. But then she reveals that Bart was the one that wanted to keep Charles and not give him up for adoption because when he first saw his child, he fell in love. So contradictory of what we originally think of Bart.
Right.
And Elizabeth didn't have the same connection with her son and even denied a proposal from Bart wanting to get married. And she says, well, no, I'm 19 and she didn't love him. And Serena figures out that she must have been blackmailed by Bart to make sure that she never came back. But then Elizabeth says, well, no, it was actually my idea to leave and for Bart to tell Chuck that I died so that he would never come looking for me. Ouch.
Ouch, but also 19.
But also 19, and she didn't want
the responsibility. She didn't feel a connection.
Right.
I get it.
Yes.
Shitty, but I can understand.
Yeah, you can understand her perspective. So Serena asks if she has any regrets, and Elizabeth says that Bart sent her money every year, but she never wanted it because she never even doubted her decision. She finishes by saying that Chuck wants to hate her, and she doesn't blame him for that. And then Serena replies that she's known Chuck her whole life, and he's good at masking his emotions, but there's no child in the world that would never want to know their parent. And she leaves. So we pan to Chuck and Blair at the Empire. They have a sexual encounter because Chuck's not ready to talk about it. And he's upset and can't believe that his mother took the check. And she apologizes for not telling Blair he had more information about her. And the two end up getting a phone call from the lobby stating that Elizabeth is there waiting to speak with him. So she comes and they talk, and she says that she wants to return the check, and she thinks it's better if he knows her now, and she'll wait in New York until he decides otherwise. She's about to leave, and Chuck asks her to stay for a drink, and the two chat away that night. Chuck seems to be quite happy to get to know his mother. He smiled for longer than a second.
Did a little chuckle.
Yeah, he's
Chuck chuckled.
Yeah, a Chuck chuckle.
A Chuck chuckle. It was very tiny, but it was there.
And so Blair heads out, and then we pan to Nate and Serena after she leaves Elizabeth's, and Serena arrives to the Waldorfs to find Nate waiting for her. She explains how she's distant because her father doesn't want to see her, and she admits after the conversation with Elizabeth, she doesn't think her father wants to be found. So Nate then comforts her sweetly and wants to be that person that she goes to with any issues. And so she ends up calling her father, or the number she has for him, leaving him a voicemail saying that she's done looking for him. Lastly, we need to finish the summary with Padge and Vanessa. We have to do it. I'm so sorry.
We have to give them a ship name now.
Right. Well,
Panessa.
Vag. No, not Vag is also awful. It's awful. Sorry, awful.
Badge.
It's kind of fun to say, though.
At
NYU, Dan bumps into a new girl named Melissa in the girls' hall.
Hey, girl.
She's in a bikini as well as everyone else on that floor, and she invites him to go join her at this party, possibly give him a pair of board shorts if he needs it. Right. But he declines.
Right.
Dan heads to Vanessa's room to apologize for basically saying that he loves her. He claims that he didn't mean it and only as a friend, and he wants to go back to normal between the two. So Vanessa states that she's still with Paul, and she's going with him to this beach-themed frat party. Dan mentions that's cool since he'll be going as well, and he'll bring his new girl, Melissa. That's a great name. Vanessa is skeptical that the four will be hanging out at the party, and Dan leaves to go find Melissa, being that he just met her. The dorm party is in full swing, lots of drinks, and awkward conversations between our quad, but Melissa and Paul ask questions to their prospective dates, but the other two seem to be answering the questions for each other, and they're very distracted and defensive. And later on, Padge and Vanessa try to talk about their feelings and just the pressure of their friendship. So Dan suggests they do a friendly thing like taking a picture at a cutout together. The two head behind the cutout, which is close quarters, and forces them to make out with each other.
Well, they embrace. They embrace.
They embrace
tension.
And they make out, and they're like, wait, how just happened? And they awkwardly have to take the photo after that. So they get back to Paul and Melissa, who sense something is clearly up here, and Paul states that Vanessa broke up with him weeks ago, and she wanted to get back to him with this party. And Melissa reveals that Padge only met her today. So the two dates end up leaving and saying that they need to work out whatever is going on between them and leave the normal people out of it. I'm like, you are nowhere near more normal, but
it's a very weird statement.
Very weird. So the two agree that their typical friendship is not really working there. And she says that she does have feelings for him, but she was scared to act on them because of obviously their history and not wanting to ruin the friendship. But then they go into this whole big conversation how it's almost ruining their friendship, not pursuing anything. They're kind of in limbo. And so she suggests they take the risk and see what happens. Her quote was, we need to, what'd she say? It's smack down, lay down.
Get down?
Break down.
It was something like that.
Something like that. And I'm like, throw down.
Throw down. We need to throw down.
I'm like, okay, weird choice of phrase. And the two end up spending an amazing night together and even claim Olivia was holding them back as I hold back vomit.
Ugh. Ugh.
So gross.
It was just like ravenous, you can tell, because the sheets were off the bed. Like there was exposed mattress. There was red sheets and blankets everywhere, and Padge nipple, which that's
Everyone
fine.
in the chat was talking about the Padge
Well, they
nipple.
just said like, oh, I was focusing on, and that's all I could see, which is fine for nipples.
Totes.
But I don't know. I don't like this.
I'm not into it. Yeah, let's marinate. We're going to come back with our patron, Ava.
Yes.
Very excited.
Very excited.
Can't wait to discuss the episode, and we'll get into everyone's questions and comments.
Hey there, it's Allison Carter. I'm the host of the podcast, Not Your Little Lady. Each episode features a woman living in the South outside of socially accepted norms. Listen and relate as these women share stories about obstacles they faced and how it feels to come out on the other side. We talk about things that pissed us off, the booze we like to drink, and historical women who have made a difference. Through all this, we explore the importance of women owning their past, present, and future while keeping it light and funny. You can find episodes, which are released every other Wednesday, on most podcast listening apps or at notyouрлittlelady.com. Be sure to follow the podcast on Twitter at ladiesofnyll and on Facebook and Instagram at notyourlittlelady. Happy listening, y'all.
Welcome back from break. We have a very special patron with us today. Ava is here.
Hello.
We're so happy to have Ava from sunny California, Sunny Ava, as I titled her a few months back.
That's right.
Yeah. So we're going to get into our questions and comments section. We have lots to get through. People want to ask Michelle and Ava questions, so I'm very excited. We'll start out with Tish on Instagram at Letitia_Dominique says, the twist that Elizabeth didn't want anything to do with her son puts an interesting spin on the Bart and Chuck relationship. Maybe Bart hated himself for keeping the child and took it out on Chuck. It's an interesting view. She says maybe it's a possibility.
Yeah. Okay.
She said the Dan Vanessa plot was annoying to her, and she thinks the threesome was solely for the purpose to get the two together, and she doesn't like that. She's not really a fan of the romance.
No.
Tish loved the moment where Serena was comforting Blair about Chuck and really loved how Blair and Nate were great support systems to their significant others in this episode. I could agree with that.
No, that's a good way to look at it.
Yeah. Don't even get her started on Damien and Jenny. He had the right idea in the beginning. He should have distanced himself from her. She's in high school. Tish's questions. Michelle, do you think Lily and Rufus will ever repair their relationship?
I do.
Okay.
Because I can't get behind the fact if we finally put them together and then they're done for.
Right. Are you a fan of Rufus, Ava?
I'm trying to remember also like how I felt about it when I first watched this show back in high school, and I think I feel differently about it now because I'm not a fan, just because I feel like both of them are just not great communicators. But I mean, I have some hope for them. Well, I mean, like I know what happens in the end, so I mean, like at this point, knowing what I do, I would have hope for them. But yeah, I think on first watch, I was just more like, oh, like they're the couple that's meant to be together. They were young lovers, etc. But now I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yes. Tish also wanted to know, Ava, what made you watch Gossip Girl for the first time? And when was that? So you just mentioned you were in high school when you first watched it.
Yes. So I watched the pilot as I was a high school freshman. And I was anticipating the show just as someone who had read the books when I was entirely too young to have read the books. But yeah, I read them in like middle school. But yeah, I was definitely anticipating the show. And also, like, I personally went to my life was in no way like Gossip Girl in high school, but
I don't think anyone's is.
no, I would hope not. But I did go to like kind of a affluent private school where we wore uniforms and had drama. So it was a big part of our lives.
Tish also wants to know, Michelle, I guess, do you think the story about Damien's dad was true?
Yes, because he said it was, but obviously he just used it to get out of this situation.
Right.
And his dad's the diplomat, right? Of Belgium?
Yeah, Belgium. Yeah. Not good.
No, I mean, whatever. You do you, but...
Right.
Ugh.
Yes. Michelle and Ava, are you a fan of the blossoming relationship between Vanessa and Dan? Ava, I'll let you go first. Michelle has no words right now.
No. I also just find it kind of hard to believe. I mean, I do know that it happens, but just the fact that they were like childhood best friends and they never mentioned and we're supposed to believe that Vanessa was harboring feelings for Dan all this time, but they had a totally normal friendship and it's only kind of coming up now. I just don't see how that would have happened in the first place, but then I just don't see it being a particularly functional relationship.
Right.
Yeah, definitely not a functional relationship, and I am not a fan of this.
Yeah, same. I don't know.
It's just weird.
I can't put my finger on it.
It's
just
weird,
like most things on the show,
that I still root for Vanessa and Nate.
Oh,
yeah, I know. The ship has sailed. I get it. But I felt that they
had
pretty
more
good
chemistry than Dan and Vanessa.
Yeah, they're supposed to be like brother and sister best friends.
Right. I know. I don't want. Why did we have to do that?
Like seeing them naked together.
It made me nauseous.
I don't like it.
Yeah,
it's uncomfortable.
Yeah, I'm trying to I could not, because I have childhood friends that are like siblings to me, and just picturing them in that way is just disgusting, honestly.
Right.
Same. I mean, so many of my guy friends are like brothers to me.
Yeah, I can't imagine like later on in life feeling
crossing that line
some type of way for them.
Yeah, no. Nope.
Yeah, so the consensus is most people are not a fan of the Padge Vanessa story.
We were talking about this, Ava, about their ship name. And so
they're awful.
Is it Panessa or is it Vag?
Or is it Vag?
and again, only we say Padge, so I guess we can use Dan, but to me he's not Dan, he's Padge.
I know. Those are both
it's quite
awful.
Comical.
They're so bad.
But I also feel like if the ship name is bad, it's a bad ship. Like you just can't root for them.
It's true.
So true.
That works. Yeah, like Natessa just flowed off the tongue.
I know. It's beautiful.
And I should have known too, because, I used to be a big chair person, again, as a youth. However,
yes.
I am not, and I also think it's a dumb ship name.
Yes.
I do too, but I'm, obviously I'll see how I feel when we get there towards the end of this series, but I feel like there's no good ship names on this show.
No.
Not yet, anyway.
No, I don't think they're going to get there. But thank you, Tish, for sending your questions. We'll go over to Jess at Mrs. Boquist. She actually loved the sex scene in the beginning where Blair was faking it. Suits Serena and Nate right. Don't they have some decency not to do that with other people in the house? It's like a college fraternity there.
And don't you feel like Serena just wouldn't care?
She doesn't care.
No.
I guess, and obviously Nate doesn't care either.
No.
So Blair gets... I wonder how close these bedrooms are to each other.
I know. I would think there'd be some space.
Right? I mean, when I think of like a hotel, I think of like a lots of space, but also like they're in the penthouse. So it's like, where are the rooms in like proximity to each other? I don't know. But Blair was yelling pretty loud.
She was.
She's glad Padge and Vanessa cut out all the bullshit, even though she's not a huge fan of them. There's Serena trying to fix things again. Teaser. Jenny's unraveling continues, and she's excited for the end of the season.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I agree.
Her question, where do you think Elizabeth and Chuck's relationship will go?
I think it'll be pretty tame. Just him getting lunch with mom sometimes. I don't know.
Do you think her, like, storyline, not that she's not on the island, it's not wrapped up, but do you feel
I was
like,
waiting for you to be like, oh, by the way, she's on the island.
do you feel like, this is just my 2 cents, Justin asked this, but do you have any thoughts on where she's going to continue on the show, if any?
I don't think it's going to go past this season.
Okay.
Because I feel that once we wrap this up, we'll be like, okay, we healed a part of Chuck and that's it. And we don't have to go back to her and she'll be on the island with all the other family members.
Okay. So like her purpose was just like growth in Chuck and move forward.
That's how I feel.
Okay. Thanks, Jess. We'll go over to Rihanna at ReeSimpson13. She was listening to a Pretty Little Liars podcast, and Janelle Parrish, who we know from her tiny moment on the OC, but aka Mona from Pretty Little Liars, said that she loved Gossip Girl as a teen, but in her 30s, she has different thoughts. Things like, Serena, you're so dumb, she's been yelling to the TV. Rihanna doesn't know how to feel about the new romance of Padge and Vanessa. Lufus is making her heart hurt, and while Serena was projecting her feelings on the Chuck situation, she was annoyed that she just can't do what people ask of her. What's your take on what Serena did for Chuck and Elizabeth in this episode, Ava?
I mean, I understand her motivations for it being very personal and not really about them, but I also felt she should of it because it's just not her place.
Right. Yeah, that's how I feel as well.
It's tough because even though it's not her place, it helped the progression to get them to talk and look at the end result.
It's true. Like, I mean, she did push it a little.
You know, so
enough.
Ooh.
I know. It's a tricky situation.
Like, sometimes you have to be a little bit out of line to do what's right for your friend, but I don't like that. No. I mean, like, yes, the outcome worked out for now.
Right. Yeah. Like, this time it worked out.
Right.
But who's to say another time her meddling would be beneficial?
And yes, she was doing it for her friend, but deep down it was selfish
rooted
reasons.
For her. It was so it's hard. It's like a toss-up there.
It is.
Maybe I'll put a poll out on Instagram so you guys can vote. Vic at Muse Chick states she loved the beginning also, like Jess did, with the Blair yelling out Chuck's name. Reminded her a lot of Forgetting Sarah Marshall, which I love that movie so much. So hysterical. She isn't a fan of Serenade, but they are looking better to her now, being that Vanessa and Padge are starting to hook up. Jenny and Damien are creepy together. Vic is glad that Blair is standing by Chuck and didn't like how Serena set up Chuck to meet with Elizabeth. Not happy with Rufus taking his anger out on Lily, but she understands why he is. Her questions. She says, congrats, Ava, for getting the guest spot. What is your take on Sag? Do you like them like Mike and Sean do?
I'm not a Sag fan, and I don't believe I ever was.
Okay. That's fair.
Yeah, that's fair.
Michelle, do you think Lily will confront Holland?
I do.
Ooh, some juiciness.
Yeah, in a very passive-aggressive way.
Okay. That should be fun.
Yes.
For the both of you, who do you hate more? Damien and Jenny or Padge and Vanessa? Who do you predict to last longer? Well, I'll leave the first part. Who do you dislike more as a couple, Damien and Jenny or Padge and Vanessa?
I don't like either of them, but I'm going to say Damien and Jenny just because it's also extremely inappropriate. The Padge and Vanessa is just icky, but it's not icky in a are you taking advantage of a 16-year-old girl?
Yes. Yeah, agreed to that. Michelle?
Yeah, I would have to agree to that.
Yeah.
But I will say I am more interested to see what's going to go down with Jenny than I am with the vag. I'm just going to call them vag.
Yeah, I like it. I think it's fun. We're just calling them vag.
Vag, like you said, Ava, it was perfectly said how it's icky. And I don't ever want to see them kiss and like make out and all of that. But so gross. But at least it's tame. And the Jenny situation, not good. It's inappropriate.
He's a bad dude.
He's a bad dude. But I want to see what's going to happen there.
Yeah.
With Jenny.
And so who do you predict to last longer?
This is a toss-up.
That's a hard question.
Yeah. I was going to be like Ava, but like, okay,
I'm not going to.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, you're not going to say. I think they're going to fizzle out at the same time, and that's my cop-out of an answer.
Oh, hey, that's all right.
It'll be like an episode where it ends all relationships, and then Cher will be the standing relationship, and everyone will be like, oh my God, Cher's the best. And I'll be like, bleh.
How many times have you watched Gossip Girl, Eva?
Well, I've only...
Roughly, you don't have to...
So I did a rewatch of the series last year around the same time, actually, and I'm now rewatching it again with you all. However, the first time I watched the series, I think I stopped watching around middle of season 4. So I didn't ever like originally finish the series, and Gossip Girl did get spoiled for me. So I was kind of like, why should I continue? With that said, I rewatched season 1 a lot because I thought it was a really good season, and then the rest not so much. But
yeah.
But then So I guess that's the long way of saying, I guess once or 3 times or like 1.8 times, I'm not sure.
Right. Okay. I mean, I can agree. I have seen season 1 numerous times when my sister and I go back, or we make someone watch it. We're always watching season 1 because season 1 of a show generally is the best. Nostalgic reasons and your character development, you're starting to get to know them. But interesting that you kind of stopped midway, which I kind of stopped midway too. So there's something about this show that's maybe a little overwhelming at times. Or underwhelming. And I can't wait until we get to season 4. Maybe we can discuss like what parts of it you decided to stop watching at.
Yeah.
Because I'd be very curious for that.
Yeah.
Very excited.
I mean, without saying anything that actually happens in season 4, when I rewatched it, I couldn't stop watching it. So I was kind of wondering, like, how did I just stop watching now? But I think it's also just like in my own personal, I think I'd gone to college and was doing other things. So I just like wasn't keeping up with TV at all at that point.
Yeah.
So that may have had more to do with it than the show itself.
Right. And we always talk about, too, like maybe you binging this show is kind of easier to watch because we're getting like the plots quicker and character development is quicker. And so it's just easier to
get through it
and watch it, where, you know, for us each week, sometimes
it's hard.
It's a fun show to just completely tear apart in the best way.
Yeah.
I hope you guys aren't offended on our take of things, because we truly love dissecting each bit of this show. Like, that's what we're here for. But I can imagine binging it is easier than week to week. Like we do.
Ava, do you have a favorite character?
Ooh. I don't know that
It's hard.
Dorota?
Dorota. Such a good answer. That's how I feel.
Again, if I'm going with high school Ava, my favorite character was Blair.
Yeah.
and I do empathize with her, especially like I think there's a little bit more development in the books of her being kind of like feeling inferior to Serena and having this sort of complex of having this like perfect best friend who everyone loves and who's like just naturally good at everything, and then just having to be next to that just makes you kind of like a control freak and bitter. But that's a great way of putting it. That's not really explained so well or I just don't see much of that in the TV show. So it just seems like Blair just is on one for no reason.
Yeah. That's how we feel. Obviously, you guys that listen each week know how we feel about Blair, especially lately. She's been kind of like back side character to
Right.
some of the stuff that's going on. And then when she does add her 2 cents, it's that typical like selfish Blair, and it's hard to watch her after 3 seasons. We kind of want that development quicker, but maybe she'll get there. I know she does eventually get there,
Yeah.
just not right away, and it's really frustrating to see her like
Especially
that.
3 seasons
Yeah.
later.
Yeah, but
You
same
know?
as my sister. I mean, my sister always grew up, Blair was her favorite, and now, I mean, I don't know if she 100% can agree with that, watching it with older eyes, watching her. But I love that you added the book spin into that, because I feel like that would have added so much more to this character that seems just so like flat at the moment. And I would have liked to see a little bit more depth there, like more struggle of like getting things where Serena gets them easily or easier.
Right.
Yeah.
Like we understood that, but we don't really see all of that.
Right.
Right. Like we're just supposed to believe that Blair is like a hard worker and Serena just gets everything naturally.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
So,
But none of them go to
I
school.
wish that-
Like,
no
No one goes to school, apparently. But with the books, I wish the books were on audio
Yeah.
because there's only like 3 of them that are. Because I really enjoyed listening to them.
How many books are there? There's a bunch.
There's a
right?
lot.
Have you read all of them, Ava?
yes. I can't tell you
Oh,
really
wow.
what happens in a lot of them because, again,
Well-
I kind of consume them almost like magazines because they're short and they're fluffy. And
Yeah.
I used to read them like nonstop. Like I'd bring them to dinner with my parents and like read it under the table. Like it was just like it was ridiculous.
Cool.
I don't know why I was allowed to have those books, but
Yeah, I mean, I remember some books that Sam and I would read, and there was one of them that was extremely raunchy.
yeah.
What book?
It's called Fly Girl. Do you remember this?
No.
You can't even find this book anymore, I'm sure. But it was about like a girl losing her virginity for the first time, and like it's very in depth and descriptive of things. And Sam and I had to have been 11.
Where did you get this book?
So Ashley, remember Ashley
Yeah,
Roach?
yeah.
She had it, and Sam was like, "Let's read." And I don't even know how we got there, but I'll never forget my first time reading, and probably my only time reading
Wow.
this book. Anyway, off tangent, but
There was
Yeah.
also a spin-off series of Jenny at boarding school that I read.
Oh, interesting.
Was it good?
No, I mean it was.
No.
I mean, again, I don't know. Like I read them,
Right.
but-
Yeah,
You
yeah.
just weren't captivated like the real series. I
yeah,
guess.
and I never cared that much about Jenny. Not book Jenny,
Yeah,
at least.
the consensus is, yeah. Lastly, I do have an email from Will. He cracked me up. He gave us the characters' episode storylines as movies.
Ooh.
This is really fun. He says that Nate was dazed and confused. Dan and Vanessa, swingers. Chuck, meet the parents. Lily, Bad Moms 2. Rufus, the First Wives Club. Elizabeth, Gone Girl. This is killing me. Blair, 50 Shades of Grey in the opening sequence. Serena, What a Girl Wants. Jenny, the Mule. Damien, Blow. I mean, I
Wow.
was cracking myself up reading these. These were amazing. I would love to get these each week, Will. No pressure or anything, but I highly, highly appreciated this.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Those are so on point. It's ridiculous.
That's really good.
But he does have some comments. Dan's tank and chest hair have bougie Ryan Atwood vibes. Rufus accumulated too much mud on that doormat. He's taking his sad vibes back to the loft. He likes Serena in this episode. It's been a while. Question, where do you think this Damien storyline is going?
Okay, so Jenny, we keep talking about like Jenny getting bad, and every week I'm like,
it gets worse from here.
it's getting worse, right? So we're going up this roller
Oh
coaster
yeah, we're going tick, 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 tick,
of
tick.
Dark Jenny,
Mhm.
right? So I'm still waiting to see, is Jenny going to use or is she just dealing,
Right.
right? And Damien,
Do you predict her using?
Yes.
You do.
I
Okay.
do, to a point maybe, but I don't know. And then Damien, like, he's just dealing, but does he just party occasionally?
Right. We don't know
And maybe
yet.
Jenny will party occasionally, but that turns into too much partying to where there's a problem.
Okay. Yeah.
Which this whole thing's a problem, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And so I think she's going to get into deep shit. Whether it's going to be caught, Damien's going to leave her, and she'll get all the blame.
Ooh.
Because I don't think he's going to be there to support her by any means in any situation. If as soon as he can get out, if blame was going to be put on, he's out.
All right, so they're not endgame.
Absolutely not. I don't think they're endgame.
Okay.
Do we ship them?
No.
No.
I mean, do we want to make a ship name?
Not really. I'm just, does anybody ship them?
Jamian?
Denny?
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 Denny's not the worst.
Yeah, it's not the worst.
It was weird to hear Rufus call her Jennifer.
Yeah, I liked it, actually.
I was like, wait, that's right. That is your name.
Her name is Jennifer.
Whoa.
Just like Nate is Nathaniel and Chuck is Charles.
And Padge is...
As Padge is not really, he's Daniel.
is Padgelin.
Padgelin? Sure, Padgelin.
Padgelin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Michelle and I actually were, when we were watching, I don't know if you have any opinions on this, Ava, but we were trying to guess nationalities of these characters because they don't really say, and I don't want to pass judgment on like, just by their name, what you think that they are. But to me, Elizabeth, she sounds like she maybe has a little bit of an accent. I don't know if that's just the actress herself, but I'm like, maybe she's like this off-the-boat Italian woman or something like that. I don't know if I'm even close there. But I was saying maybe Serena, like Vanderwoodson, maybe that's like German or Polish or Dutch or something like that. You don't hear that name too often.
Right.
It does sound Dutch, but it also sounds like, I don't know, the author was just like, what's a fancy sounding rich person name?
Right?
Yeah.
Right. Like Vanderbilt, that's an actual name
Right.
that we use, not in everyday life, but we know the Vanderbilt.
Of
So, like,
course.
maybe they just spinned it off of Vanderbilt, Vanderwoodson.
Right. Because they do all,
I
like
don't know.
Waldorf, Archibald, not so much Bass, but
Right.
like they sound like names of people with money and like history.
Regal.
Yeah.
Yes, very. Yeah. So it's hard to like guess what the nationality of these like families are.
Well, we should do a deep dive and try to see if
we
there's a
should.
Reddit or something.
I should look into this. I will make
Maybe
myself a note.
Will knows.
Maybe Will knows.
Hey, Will.
Yeah. Maybe Mike knows. Maybe.
Maybe.
These people who
But
really go into depths with these TV shows.
Elizabeth does have a weird accent, though. I couldn't peg it.
Yeah. When I looked up the actress, they said she is of Mexican descent. So maybe she has a thicker accent and is coming through.
Yeah.
She's a very beautiful woman. Like, these cheeks are so full and glossy all the time.
And I felt they did a great job casting because I could see her as Chuck's mom.
Yeah, I think they look
look-wise.
very similar. I think it was a good pick for them.
Definitely.
Eva, do you have any last questions or comments, thoughts on the episode?
Well, so I'm looking at the notes I took, and most of them are just like, I don't like this couple. I do like Dark Jenny. So
Do you have any MVP or shittiest?
Ooh.
It's okay. Put you on the spot.
I think there was a brief period while watching it where I was trying to think of it, but I don't think I have a clear answer for that.
Yeah, it was hard.
I still don't. I'm still like sweating over here because I don't know who I'm going to pick because honestly, no one's
good.
Made me feel like,
yeah, that's how I felt
you
too.
go, champ.
Right. Champ.
And a lot of people did things that could be shitty, but like no one was like the standout, like, yikes.
Right.
Definitely. Well, we thank you so much for coming on, Ava. I'm so glad that we got to talk to you. This has been so much fun.
Yeah, this was really fun for me as well. Thanks for having me.
I'm so glad. I'm glad you were able to come to the Netflix party. And I hope that, you have a great night. And we're so happy that we got to talk to you. And it's been awesome.
All right. Have a great night, ladies.
You too. Thank you so much,
Thank
Ava.
you, Ava.
All right.
Thank you so much, Ava, for coming on the podcast. It was a blast.
Yeah.
Podcast blast?
We love talking to you. I like that. Podcast blast.
The podcast blast. Some trivia. The episode title is based off the movie The Lady Vanishes.
Okay.
Sure. In the beginning of the episode, when Damien is talking to Jenny, he shows her the Endless Nights trilogy, which is the movie that Olivia was in, that his famous girlfriend, Dan's famous girlfriend. Blah, blah, blah. We knew this already. Music. Dog Days Are Over by Florence and the Machine. Out of the Blue by Julian Casablancas. Secrets by One Republic. Left and Right in the Dark by Julian Casablancas. 11th Dimension by Julian Casablancas. Ludlow Street by Julian Casablancas. She's on the Move by not Julian Casablancas, but Far East Movement.
Casablanca just makes me think of Veronica Mars.
Me too.
I was like, oh, I haven't heard that name.
Right? Fashion headbands. I had none again.
I had 0.
Okay, good. At least we're on the same track.
Yes.
We liked that tribal printed
Oh, the poncho.
Vanessa was wearing. It was black and pink.
Yeah.
Cute.
I did like Serena's, men's button down that she came out in the
with
morning.
her high socks.
It was cute.
I liked Nate's navy V-neck. He looked good in that.
Loved that. Blair had a plaid coat.
Loved that coat. It was brown and black, I guess. Dan, gotta give it to Dan in a tank top. He don't look too bad, but like awkward.
But was he wearing dress pants? And
I didn't notice the pants.
He was very pink. He looked like he got sunburn.
Maybe it was just the look, or maybe he was really overheated from drinking a lot and warm.
Yeah.
Felt the pressure of the Vanessa situation.
Yeah. I liked Nate's plaid shirt in the end.
Mm-hmm. I liked Lily's gold pendant necklace. It was like looked like a sun almost.
Like a sunburst.
Yeah, it was really pretty. And I liked Rufus's gray pea coat.
It was very cute. Roofy.
Jess liked Elizabeth's ivory coat.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, she's a stunner.
It was a good one.
Quotes. I'm just glad I got Chuck's couch scotch guarded.
Now, excuse me, Louis Vuitton is showing metallic booties for spring.
Melissa, it's a good name.
Oh, I missed this. Dating someone who is a horrible liar.
Yeah, that was funny. He also told me kids wore suits to kindergarten.
Back to Brooklyn for you.
This time you might just be pushing your Chuck.
Greeks know how to do comfort food. I just wrote that as myself. Like, that was funny.
Right. Yeah, it was funny. You haven't eaten bread since middle school.
There's no parent that doesn't. Nope.
There's no child that doesn't want to know their parent.
That's
Is that it?
That's
I don't have that one, but I love eat your spanakopita. And no, Rufus, I didn't know about a big giant bag of pills. And Jess liked Serena, sit your ass down. All right. MVP and shittiest. This was a tough one, but yeah. Do you have one? Is it tough?
Yeah, I had one when we hung up with Ava, and
now you forgot?
I forgot it. Where was I going to spin this? Oh, yeah. Okay, I have my MVP.
Okay.
The shittiest is hard, honestly, because
there's a couple of shitty people.
Yeah. All right, we'll do MVP first. I won't worry about that yet.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, Nate.
Oh, so why'd you choose him?
I didn't particularly love anyone, but I felt like, yes, I understand when people said Blair and Nate were good partners in this episode. I just felt like he was supportive of Serena. He said, hey, come to me with issues. He even obliged her and gave Blair the phone. He was going to do a solid for Chuck. He's just, he was quietly there for everyone.
That's exactly why I chose him.
Right? I appreciated that.
Yeah.
Tish, Jess, Rihanna, and Vic all picked Blair for respecting Chuck's wishes and backing him up this episode. And Will picked Serena. He liked the fact that she got Elizabeth and Chuck talking.
I can see that. I mean,
can see those as well.
For sure. Look at this budding relationship now.
Yeah. Shittiest. I have a blue ribbon.
Okay, yeah, I have my shittiest. Okay. This is who I feel most strongly towards right now.
Okay. Ready?
Yep.
3, 2, 1,
Rufus.
Ooh, Michelle.
Yeah.
Please tell.
You know what? I understand that you're fed up and you're upset with your wife, but perhaps, and like Ava said, they're awful communicators. You need to communicate with her. You were pissed at her because she wasn't communicating to you. And that just is the stem of this, right? Because we didn't really see that this episode.
Yeah, it's still a brewing in there.
Yeah, but you were obsessed. You were upset that Lily didn't fill you in on everything. And so now you're just not going to talk to her, which isn't going to solve anything, which leads us to things happening with Jenny and Lily having to parent her. But the bottom line is I understand when you guys got married and there's like this blended family, but Rufus, you're still responsible.
Right. She's still your child.
For her throwing the low blows towards Lily, not cool.
Yeah, with the Serena comment.
Yeah.
And did you know about these pills? No, of course, Rufus, I didn't know about these giant bag of pills.
And she would have said something to him. The fact that she even called him of like, oh, there's a boy in her room. I already spoke to her and tried to give her the trust for that. She didn't listen.
So true.
So now we got to bring in Dad. I didn't want to do that, but Rufus, you should have been there.
Right.
Don't just fucking dump your kid.
Yeah, I can handle this, but this is something a bigger issue here, and we need the dad to step in.
So, Rufy.
Yeah, I like that answer. I mean, I picked Jenny. Just I felt like she was just like a really spoiled brat teenager in this episode. With her trying on her high horse, like, well, can Damien still have visitation? Well, no, bitch, you can't have visitation.
Yeah.
You know, she just, like, doesn't care about anyone else but herself.
As much as she's bratty, she doesn't bother me as much as when Blair and Serena do shit.
Oh, yeah.
Which I don't understand that because people hate Jenny. And for me, like, yeah, and even watching it, I'm like, oh, come on, Jenny. But at least it's entertaining and her demise is entertaining. That's so bad.
Right. No, I get that.
Right now, the darkness and the drug thing, it's not the best.
Right.
But
yeah.
I'm interested to see.
Just Rihanna, Will, and Vic also agreed with me and picked Jenny. I actually am going to give a little blue ribbon to Serena, even though what she did ended up working out. I didn't like that she meddled because she really pushed something or someone who really wasn't ready to do it, but then ultimately it kind of worked out. But
yeah, no, I hear you.
And Tish picked Tish picked Damien for dealing and the fact that he's with a high schooler. She just finds that.
Well,
to be
yeah,
bizarre.
that's right.
It's that time of the night where I announce our patron of the week.
Yay!
It's patron of the week.
It's patron of the week.
This week, I chose a newcomer to the network. Her name is Lexi. She's been following us on Instagram. She generally sends her questions and comments for the OC. She's a big OC lover. And I named her Silver Screen Lex because her last name has silver in it. Yeah, so it came to me at the time, but I still think she is a big time celeb in the network. She's new, but she's making an appearance, and we're just so happy to have her. So we wanted to say thank you and welcome.
Thanks, Lexi. Welcome.
This is the time of the night where I give you the title and the 3 gossip words for next week. I have to say, I am excited for next week.
Okay, I'm excited too because you're excited.
Yeah, I'm excited. So if I'm excited, usually a good sign because I feel like we're generally on the same level regardless of my history with this show.
Agreed, yeah.
So the title for next week, once I give it to you, you're going to be like, oh, shit. Here it comes. The 16-year-old virgin.
Oh, shit.
That's what I was looking for. Yes. And my 3 gossip words are...
3 gossip words.
Lawsuit.
Oh, no, my pen's out of ink.
Oh, no.
Hold on.
We're taking a brief pause.
Okay, new ink. Okay.
Lawsuit. Zones. DNA.
Oh, shit. Okay.
This is a good one.
Okay, so DNA. I feel like this might have something to do with a DNA test. Mm-hmm. You are not the mother.
You are not the father.
Maybe Chuck is like, listen, you could be anyone. I need to have a DNA test. Which is, I understand like the whole name situation.
Yeah, lots of money there. We don't want to mess around with like, you know,
hierarchy. It also could be with, you know, you're my DNA. we are this way because you're my DNA.
Love that too.
Zones. I think this maybe have to do with drug dealing zones and who gets what corner when.
Okay.
Or whatever, dealing with people.
Yeah.
And then the lawsuit maybe has something to do with Holland and Rufus and Lily. We have to figure out what's happening there. And maybe she was meeting with the doctor over a lawsuit. Dr. Vanderwoodson.
Oh.
The father.
The father.
Yes. How did I do?
You know.
Okay. Sometimes I do really well.
You were close with some things. I'll say that.
Okay, I'll take it. And
but
then
the title, The 16-Year-Old Virgin.
So that is Jenny.
That's Jenny.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's turned 16.
So we're having a sweet 16 or a 16th birthday, or we're not celebrating because she's punished, or we can't find her. Did she even come home? Because she was Rufus couldn't find her when they're supposed to go back to Brooklyn. So is she now staying with Damien? And then is she going to lose her virginity on her 16th birthday with gross ass Damien? These are all things I'm trying to work out. What
would you like to happen?
I'm not really sure, to be honest with you. I just want to meet Serena's father.
Yeah.
I said this to Liz when we were watching. It would have been great as Serena's leaving that voicemail, we just get another scene of a man in the dark listening to that voicemail.
Yeah, even just like a shadow of his face, something.
It doesn't even have to be the actor. Like grab your
director or whatever.
Someone just be like, hey, stand there. We're just going to shine the light and create a harsh shadow. That would have created such a mood.
Yeah, you've been excited. Yes.
We're excited. We're not giving up on this. We're not giving up on this, right?
No,
because he has to come.
He's coming this season. It's just not soon enough.
Yeah. I still think perhaps something like that's going to happen. That's what I'm going with.
Okay. Good predictions. Good thoughts. Tish believes that it's Jenny as Gossip Girl this week. She says it makes no sense, but she feels it in her bones. Do you have anything you feel in your bones?
Yeah. There's that dreaded question.
I know.
So like every week I go through and I pick apart why this person can't be it. And I know I shouldn't do that because every week you're like, it doesn't matter. Don't do that. It doesn't fucking matter. And then every time I get worked up about something, I just remember Shanna. She's like my little shoulder angel being like, don't think too much about it. It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
you're thinking too much.
She's great for that.
She's so calm. She's like, Michelle.
She's such
don't
a calm
think about
persona.
It. Yeah, just don't. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You're thinking too much about it. This is my job.
Exactly.
As a watcher, right? So for Gossip Girl, you know what? We'll go. Man, they're all just so self-absorbed and preoccupied. Like, who would write about another person? Like, they could write about themselves, but who would? Jenny. I'm going to go with Jenny.
Okay.
Because she's just in that petty mood right now.
She sure is. Well, until next week for the 16-Year-Old Virgin, very excited to watch this episode. If you like what you're hearing and you're an Apple Podcast user, would you please consider writing us a little review, rating us over there on iTunes. It helps the show so much, you have no idea. If you'd like to join our Patreon fam, maybe you want to become a guest host like Ava was this week. Maybe you want some behind-the-scenes goodies. You can get your episodes ad-free, a day early, good stuff, bonus content.
Birthday club.
It's so much fun. Our Patreon fam is the best. I know you guys are sick of hearing this each week, but we are never sick of talking about them because they're the best humans.
Best.
And if you want to reach out to us on social media, maybe you want to send us your predictions, questions, comments, MVP shittiest, we want it all, at 3 Gossip Girls Pod on all social media accounts. You can even reach us at Gmail if you have a longer email. And we will see you guys next week. Until then, you know you love us.
XOXO.
Gossip Girls.